Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm really excited about today's video because if you listen to the Blessed and Bossed Up podcast or you've been following me for long enough, you know that this journey of making God the CEO of my business and truly just surrendering all to Him has been a lot. It's been a lot. And so I'm going to talk to you guys about a couple of faith-based books that have really helped me on my journey to make sure that I'm continuously doing things God's way. I'm positioned to hear from Him, and I'm not doing Tatum's plan, but I'm committed to God's plan. Make sure you check the description box because I have the link to my Amazon store with tons of other books that I don't have here with me because, listen, I be giving out books and people don't be giving them things back. And matter of fact, some of y'all probably got some books in your library right now or in your house, in your room, wherever, that belong to somebody else that you ain't gave back. So pause this video and go and get that book back so they not sitting here looking like me and don't even have all the books to recommend to y'all, okay? So pause, go collect the things and return them to the person who gave them to you. Alright, today's topic, we're going to be talking about 3 of my favorite faith-based books. The first book we're going to talk about is Fervent by Priscilla Shirer. This is actually my favorite book, and this is probably the most pivotal book for my spiritual journey, my business journey. The quick story behind this book, I had just quit my job, right? Let me just put it down and talk. Listen, so I had just quit my job. And I knew that God was leading me to leave my job at that time. I was planning on leaving my job months after I actually quit. He told me that it was time to take the leap then. Now, usually you might be excited, like, oh, God told me to quit my job. Initially, I was excited because I'm like, bet. He said quit my job. I'm about to be a millionaire tomorrow. Like, it's going to be lit because God told me it was time to leave my job. Now, I did hear Him correctly, but I perceived what that journey was going to look like very incorrectly. And so within like the first few weeks I was frustrated. Like I wasn't making any money. It was no sign that any money was going to be coming in anytime soon. I didn't understand, like, why would God make me quit my job for me to just be struggling like this? Like I felt extremely defeated. Every day I'm like looking for new ways to make money in business. How do I create new revenue streams? What do I need to do? Because obviously something is broken if I don't have any money coming in. And so one day I woke up and I prayed and God told me to watch the movie War Room. And my initial reaction was, God, I'm poor. Why am I watching movies? Like, why am I watching this movie? I need money, bro. Like, why am I watching this movie? And so I was like, nevertheless, clearly it has to be something in this movie that I'm not getting. And so I watched the movie. I took my notes. Okay, it's the importance of prayer. Awesome, but I'm trying to get paid though. And so I went to the library after watching the movie because I was broke, which means I wouldn't buy no books off Amazon because I didn't have buying books off Amazon money. I had to go to the library where books are still free. And so I went to the library. I'm walking around, I'm in the business aisle. Like, I'm not in the faith aisle. I'm not in the prayer aisle. That's not what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about money. And so I go to the business aisle and I see this book, Fervent. Now, to be completely transparent, I didn't know what fervent meant. So, like, the title in and of itself didn't stick out to me because I didn't know what that word meant. But there's a sticker on the top of the book that says, inspired by the feature film War Room, and that's what caught my attention because I was like, hold on, I watched this movie this morning. I'm not even in the faith-based aisle. Like, this book is looking me eye to eye and I see this sticker. Obviously, I probably need to pick this joint up. So I picked the book up, I checked it out, I went home and I read the whole thing. I mean, because what else was I doing? I read the whole thing. And I love this book because it just talks about praying strategically. And I never heard about strategic prayer before. Like, up until that point, like, I mean, my prayer life was a conversation with God, which is what prayer is, but I never heard about praying actually being strategic. And so this book really opened my eyes up to a concept that I was very unfamiliar with. And it also gave me that revelation that I was focused on the wrong things. I was focused on where my next dollar was coming from. I was focused on the fact that I wasn't bringing any money in. I was focused on the business success, and God needed me first. He needed my heart first. He needed my prayer life to be on point first before he could bless me with any of those things. And so I'm so grateful that that is the way that he had me start my journey. It ain't feel like it then, but now I'm so grateful because the strategies that I was taught in this book are the same strategies that I use in my day-to-day life. And the difference is, it's not to become successful, but it's to please God. It's not to, I'm not praying strategically for the Porsche. I'm praying strategically that my life is exactly what God saw before he formed me in my mother's womb. I'm praying strategically that the strongholds that are on my family's bloodline are going to be lifted so my son doesn't have to deal with those things. Like, it's way bigger than what my little mind was trying to make it out to be. And so this book was a game changer for me. And I highly, highly recommend that anybody, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, that you get this book. So as y'all can tell, and you'll see as you are looking at my Amazon store, there are a few authors that I just love, and Priscilla Shirer is one of them. And so this is actually a Bible study, and this is the workbook for the Bible study that's called Discerning the Voice of God, How to Recognize When God Speaks. So I have a community called The Society with myself and Keviah of the She Who Was Called mobile app. And so it's a membership community of women who don't play about God and they don't play about their business. And so our goal is to help them grow in both their faith life as well as their business lives. And one of the things that we do is Bible studies. And so this Bible study was so important for not only us, but our group, because a lot of Christians, a lot of people who really want God to order their steps, struggle with discerning his voice. Because especially today with the world that we live in, there's so many things and people talking to us at once. As soon as you open your phone, somebody's selling something to you. As soon as you open your phone, it might be a call, missed call, a text, or voicemail of somebody who's telling you something or who needs something from you. As soon as you go outside, there's an advertisement. Like, there's always something, somebody talking to you and trying to get your attention. And a lot of times we are so busy, our lives become so noisy where we're not able to hear God in the midst of it. And so this book this Bible study was so important for us because we're able to take time together as a group and really make sure that we are appropriately positioning our lives to where we are hearing from God. So this is a workbook for a Bible study, but I highly suggest that you get it. You can just go to the store, Amazon store, and get the workbook. But make sure that you guys are checking out Priscilla Shirer and all of the things she has to offer. And also join the society. We have a 2-week free trial, so you can come on in, try us out, see what we have to offer. You could even go back to all of the things that we've been doing for the last year or so and get caught up for free. So go to blessedandbossedup.com/community. The link is going to be in the description as well to check us out and to join our community, because there's nothing better than just growing with people who get it. It's as simple as that. Okay, the last book. Y'all recognize her? This book is called Blessed and Bossed Up, Surrendering Your Ambition So God Can Have His Way. And this is my first book, self-published book. I wrote it in an extremely difficult period. So much so where it's hard for me, honestly, to even read this book, because I told you guys about my journey of quitting my job and following God and getting the Priscilla Shirer book. But my journey in making God the CEO and following him in my business has been very hard, because his path is way different from everything that I've been taught. It's way different from what my MBA tells me, what my digital marketing certifications tell me. It's way different from what my favorite experts or my business coaches may tell me. God's way is hard. And I want you guys, if you're listening to my podcast or you're following my channel, I don't want to romanticize it or make it seem so sweet to when things hit the fan or it seems difficult that you are feeling kind of blindsided. Like, I want you to understand that it's going to be difficult. Worth it 100%, but it's going to be difficult. And so with this book, I really just broke down what surrendering your ambition to God looks like, because that was a very real thing that I had to do. Before he blessed me with the business success, before he blessed me with millions of listeners, I had to get it right. I had to get my heart posture right. I had to redefine what success looks like. Success wasn't what I was thinking. I thought success was all the things that I could buy. I thought success was getting all the accolades and reaching all of these superficial levels of success. But success is simply pleasing God. And I had to not only make sure I verbalized that, but I had to make sure my heart was set up that way. Because if success wasn't pleasing God, then that meant that I will compromise in order to reach that success. And God needs people who are uncompromising. He needs people representing him who are uncompromising. And he had to make sure, before he could trust his people with me, before I could get any level of influence, that I had to be uncompromising. And so this book talks a lot about what that journey looked like for me. I'm very open about how difficult it was, and it's my prayer that you guys can read this, because I wrote this years ago, that you guys could read this and then look at me now and look at how far God has brought me, and use that as inspiration to commit and stay the course with whatever it is that he has you doing. So I joke around like this is my favorite because it's me, but no, it's my favorite because it's a very real part of my journey. It's a very vulnerable piece of me, and it's something I can always look back on and just be in awe of God, because I know where I was at when I wrote this, and I know what my life looks like now, and I know, and I'm grateful that I didn't compromise in any way in order to get to where I am now. And it's just a testament for me that doing things God's way works. It's better than the world. You'll achieve success in the world, but it won't be the same level of success that you'll achieve when you are doing things God's way and uncompromising about it. So that's probably the word of the day, is uncompromising. So check out the book. It's available in my Amazon store. Let me know what you guys think. If you read it, tell me what you thought about it in the comments. And that's all I have for you guys today. So make sure that you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.